Sorry for the, I don't know what you call it, but...
Late delay.
The misfire. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment, and join in the conversation. We are streaming live, so we see your conversations here. I see we got a couple people looking. Welcome.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Or afternoon, whatever it may be.
Ifua Boss, then stand up is saying hello. So hello to you, sir. Or madam. I don't know who you are, but long story
No
short.
assumptions here.
Long story short, it's going to be a pretty short show today. We've got a couple things that we're going to touch on before we get into the battleground. News-wise, there isn't really all that much going on. I feel like it's been pretty tame overall.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing, though. I mean, lately we've been going through the hubbub with the trade war and a lot of, regulations and stuff with Facebook and Apple. And, I think having a slow week and just getting some good earnings and kind of seeing what's going on with the actual market is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and the impeachment inquiry and everything is kind of just taking center stage. So
yeah,
at this point,
that as well. And we're not a political show, so we're not going to really dive too much into the realm of what's going on with the impeachment. Obviously, it does have somewhat of an effect on the market, but as of right now, it's not having too much of an impact.
Yeah, it's not really doing much because it's still up in the air whether or not anything's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I think today is the actual day that the interviews and stuff start. So I'm sure there's a lot of eyes on that, which can kind of lead to, again, a little bit of slower, slower day in news.
Stall in news. Yeah, there's really nothing going on, and with that, so we should kind of just touch on the little stories that are happening. Disney went and launched their Disney Plus platform yesterday.
I was excited. I will say I signed up. I am an official member of the Disney Plus and Hulu. I did the $12.99. I thought, hey, why not? So.
Now, since you did sign up, because I'm going to be looking at it this weekend, did you get full Hulu? Is it normal Hulu, or is it some sort of stripped down version?
I haven't even looked at that. I actually had a plan on to go watch Endgame last night, and I just ran out of time and didn't actually get to it. So my plan is tonight to go binge some Marvel movies. So I haven't even looked at the Hulu, though. I believe it's an ad-supported version, but I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you get like the full version with it, because otherwise you have to subscribe to another Hulu version if you like that service.
No, I mean, you get everything. It's just I don't know if it's the ad-supported one or the non-ad, but you also get ESPN Plus involved, so you kind of get your sports, you get your movies, and you get your live TV type stuff going on with Hulu. So it's, in my opinion, a great package. But they did have some trouble launching it. So.
Yeah, and everybody kind of does. I feel like that's the reason it's not that really big of a story. When I saw it in the news, I was kind of like, yeah, whoop-de-doo. I mean, they're just launching a service between all the billions of people that are probably just checking out their website, let alone signing up. I mean, you gotta expect some sort of problems, and it didn't really affect me all too much. I'm still gonna look at it this weekend. There was no news deterring me from it. It wasn't like people were getting, their, accounts hacked and credit cards stolen. So to me, it's a successful launch.
Yeah, I mean, when you open up the floodgates to millions of people, there are, in my opinion, bound to be a little bit of some hiccups or troubles that the IT guys got to kind of figure out and see how it's all going to play out. But I mean,
it wasn't like they shut down. It just seemed like people were having some issues, and to me, that's like that's not even news. Like, I kind of feel bad that we're even talking about it.
Well, I mean, that just kind of goes to show a little bit of the slow nature of this week right now, that people were jumping on that as kind of
that
like
was
the big
probably
news
the biggest
of the day
news so
yesterday.
Far,
yeah. But in better news, they also did report earnings last week, and it directly affected our paper trading portfolio. So I thought we'd touch on.
We'll get to that once we get into the what's it called, the
you don't want to
jump battleground.
In right now?
No, we got to get to the battleground. That's the whole point of it. There wasn't really much other big real news going on. I mean, I'm just looking quickly over the headlines here on Zacks.com today, and I'd gone through other things, and there's really nothing just biting that's telling me that the market's going to move one way or the other. And so with that, I kind of feel, unless like Danny, you have anything, then maybe we should just jump into the battleground. By the way, Mike Peters, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, if you're listening, shoot us some questions, or if there's a story you guys want us to kind of look over and just kind of talk about, shoot it over to us, and we'll kind of dive into it. But other than that, let's just dive into the battleground and kind of see what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just so slow.
Yeah,
Just
I
so
mean, we
slow.
haven't done really a huge portfolio look over, so I think today is a perfect day to do it. So,
And there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So
right, let's get into it. I still love those pictures, by the way. Every time I see them.
I made sure to try to make it as Nintendo analog as humanly possible. So Mike Peters actually has a question here. He says, "How about that action with Applied DNA Sciences up $16 yesterday, down however many percentage points down today? 5, it looks like." He says. You know what? To be honest with you, I didn't really look at that story. Let's take a look now, though.
Is that a? You said that was a healthcare or
APDN applied. Yeah, it says Applied DNA Science.
applied DNA science? Sounds like something like they may have gone through.
Yep.
We may have gone through a maybe an FDA thing or some type of drug trial. Maybe?
Yeah, it looks like, well, maybe they got denied because it looks like it's quite a drop. It's
Hmm.
down like 73% today.
Yikes! Yeah,
Which-
those stocks can be crazy volatile.
Applied DNA Sciences provides proprietary DNA embedded biotechnology security solutions using non-human DNA that verify. Okay,
Wow.
so this is sounding a lot to me like basically digital DNA pirating. People that are going to take your DNA and be able to open doors and
That
security
sounds-
codes. And if I had to guess, they probably had some sort of news yesterday where some government wasn't going to allow them to do anything. But let's see what they got for headlines here. Swapping Apple for Apple. It's
Yeah.
just an update. Other news. Let's just look at other news. Midday market. DNA stock plunges after share offering announcement. Oh,
Sure. Oh, okay. There's always something.
that might be it. That might be it. That might be the reason there, Mike Peters. While I read over this story real quick, maybe Danny can jump in on his portfolio and I come back to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, just touching on my portfolio to start with, I thought we'd kind of just jump into the earnings a little bit with Disney because it did, again, directly affect us. Currently, I mean, we'll just take a look at my portfolio before we even jump into earnings. Right now, we have currently Disney, GW Pharmaceuticals, which was in a play of kind of the cannabis industry. We talked about it in length with Dave Bourne here. He came, he's our resident expert, runs a portfolio for the cannabis industry. So I kind of jumped at that one. And it's doing okay. I bought it on a big dip. Currently, it's at 111.07. I am currently priced in at 113.54. So not too bad of a drop on us. So we'll see if we can get a little bit more play. Then we have the S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats ETF, much safer play. Strictly just trying to get some type of income coming into the portfolio. That's currently sitting at 73.89. We priced in at 69.87. So decent up run there for us. We currently have 10 shares, so not too bad. And then we have Square. Kind of our downfall on our portfolio, to be honest. We bought it. I think it was actually our first purchase for me in the paper traders. But we bought it kind of on a high, 78.70. We got 7 shares and it kind of dipped on us. It did just report earnings. Got a little bit of a gap up, but not much. It didn't seem like they I guess did good enough to kind of impress the investors. They did get a little lift, but so their earnings came in at, let's see, reported 25 cents per share with $1.27 billion in revenue and $28.2 billion in gross payments volume. This was higher than expected. Street was looking for 21 cents. They came in a little above on the revenue. They were only expecting 1.2 billion. Again, they came in at 1.27, so not too big of a beat there. And then the gross payments, they came in at 26.8 billion, so a little bit higher there. Yeah, a lot to run through, I know. But we haven't done a portfolio kind of rundown, so I thought we'd do it, Eric. I get the music. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then again, like I said, Disney also earnings. So kind of going over those, we are kind of up, to be honest. Eric, me and you are going to be looking pretty decent here. It's currently sitting at 138.85. and we purchased at 134.55, and we got a pretty big beat here for Disney. So yeah, it was a good thing for us.
I'm holding out to December at Disney.
I'm not selling this behemoth anytime soon.
I'll probably make a move on it because there's going to be some sort of shift and change. I mean, it's going to climb, but I mean, there's only so much headway it can make, and if it didn't bounce that much higher off of the announcement of these new movies and everything else, especially since it was such a laggard for us for a while, I think that now it finally showed something. I think for me at least, I'm probably going to take whatever I can get because I mean I'm up $4. It looks like. So I mean, not that big of a deal. But to get back to Mike Peters' question, so when it comes to APDN, it seems like the story there is yesterday they happened to announce a breakthrough in DNA tagging of leather in China. And for whatever reason, I wasn't able to quickly research it enough to find any sort of reason that it went down. But after that announcement, it sent the stock plummeting. So, Mike, I actually have no idea because it sounds like, I don't know, a good way for people to make sure their products don't get stolen, or that, your distribution is being loyal or whatever you might have for, any sort of, agreement with them. But I can't see a reason why a stock would announce something so big like that and drop. There's got to be something else that's going on. So as for your question about APDN, I will toss it to Kevin Cook only because of the fact that APDN sounds like something that would probably be in his wheelhouse. It's not a healthcare stock, but the fact that they deal with biotechnology makes me think that he'd have a little bit of insight in what happened there for you. So I'll pass it off to him for you. And then
I saw that he had a question about the Luckin brand as well.
So. Yeah, Luckin Coffee. So
and it's just a big up and comer right now. They opened in 2017, so they're fairly new, but their revenue is actually completely off the charts right now and is chasing down Starbucks. So it looks like they're trying to give them a run for their money right now. So I mean, it's kind of we'll see what happens over the next coming quarters, but currently looks like they have about 717 stores, and the stock is up about 13% in early trading as of yesterday. So
yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask about that because I don't even understand how Starbucks exists. I mean, they've got one on every single block. Like between what it costs to rent all those properties and the staff to run them and keep them stocked and have them built, I don't even understand how Starbucks is making that type of money.
You don't need to understand. People go, man. It's one of those things I feel like you will build it, they will come type of ideas. It's just one of those.
Well, I mean, Danny, as you know, I mean, I haven't had a cup of coffee in
a very long time.
A very long time. I've forgotten the amount of years. Like, we'll put it this way. I made it through college without a single cup. But when I was drinking coffee, it was obviously way easier and cheaper to just make your own. So I don't understand why people are so willing to dish out up to $10 sometimes for some of these basically milkshakes.
Yeah.
When you can get real better coffee at home.
Yeah, I tend to treat myself once in a while to Starbucks, so I'm kind of not the everyday goer, but I
get that if you're just in a rush and you just got to get your coffee in. But like for those people that are there like daily,
yeah,
like you're spending like $30 a day on Starbucks, like.
Well, more like a week, but yeah, it's a lot.
Not you, I'm saying, no. But you see those people that are constantly with a Starbucks cup in their hand. I mean, that's a pretty expensive addiction.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So yeah, I mean, it's Mike. It's definitely a stock, in my opinion, to keep an eye on, just because of the continued success that this company is having in China. And again, it's fairly new. It only opened in 2017, so it's only been a few years here, and it looks like this growth and revenue is only going to continue. So, yeah, we're going to have to see if they're going to outdo Starbucks in China, but I mean, they're not going to outdo them here in the United States.
I'm applauding Mike here because he texted back, "I've never had a Starbucks coffee. Make my own." Good for you, Mike.
Yeah, the 25-cent guy.
Right.
That's what I always. It's like cost what? 20 cents or so,
something like that's super cheap.
Yeah,
it makes no sense to pay $5 to $10 for that.
And
I'll be honest with you, I know I've seen you eat Starbucks sandwiches.
Yeah,
For what those cost, just go to McDonald's.
I'm too lazy.
Gotta be a better
I'm
freaking...
getting my coffee. I might as well just get it all in one place.
Crazy. You pay like 4 times the price for the same thing.
Yeah, it's like $4.50.
Still comes out of a microwave.
Yeah, I mean, they have it sitting right behind the
I know,
the
that's what I'm saying. It's crazy
it's not
to me.
impressive. But I mean, it's good, and like I said, I'm lazy. You don't want to go to 2 different places, so.
Yeah. Either way, getting to my portfolio, obviously things are looking pretty good.
Oh wait, I wanted to say one more
one
thing.
other thing.
On our portfolio, we have been down for I would say like the get go, just because like I said, Square kind of hit us hard when we first purchased it. But we're now currently only $24 in debt on this portfolio. So we're making some huge headways. At one point, we were down $115. So
your market value is at like $1,500 too, isn't it?
Current market value is $2,313.
Oh yeah, you're double where I'm at. I need to start stepping up my investments here.
Come on, Eric. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. I feel really proud that our portfolio is kind of making some headways and moving forward with the market. So it looks like we've made some decent investments so far. I'm pretty proud. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
All right, so now going over to mine. Nothing all too special. We had talked about the Take-Two Interactive move, and we're going to take a closer look at that today because I should have sold on the 7th, but we're going to go closer in depth because I want to do this live here. It doesn't really make any sense for us to do it outside of here unless you're here learning with us. So Take-Two Interactive, they announced on the 7th. We're going to go take a really close look at their chart and their earnings. Currently, they're up pretty good today. I saw them at the top at 152.
Yeah, well, good 1% today. It's not bad.
Yeah, they were up pretty high at a point. But with that,
you were kind of interested in the release of their game too, weren't you?
Well, that's what I was banking on. I was banking that the game was going to give them a nice bounce. I'm trying to figure out which chart I want to use. Let's just use the price consensus in EPS because that's the most commonly used one and has the most analytics.
Yeah, I love that one. That's a great one. You can see
the
earnings. You can see kind of what's been going on over the past months or years. You can kind of make the chart big or small.
Right, and that's what we're going to want to do because for this stock specifically and what happened in the last days.
This thing has just been going up, 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 and up.
Well, as you can see there, right at the earnings, it's been bouncing.
Yeah.
You know, and I've wanted to go and stick with it, but I know how Rockstar operates, and what's going to happen here is they might, at the very best, get a little jump in December because they always release some sort of holiday package.
Okay.
But then they're not going to release anything for a really long time.
Yeah, because, I mean, their next big game is kind of Grand Theft Auto, right? I mean,
probably in their rotation, yeah.
Right, and those games take forever to create. And, I mean, they didn't release the last one not too long ago, right? It was like a year or 2 years ago?
Oh, I must say it was more than that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for a long time, and so them not having any... Then the other thing is they don't announce when their games are coming out. They don't go to E3 or anything else.
Really?
So you're pretty much guessing on when it's going to come out. Yeah, when they pretty much announce, it's pretty much on a whim, usually in October-ish, and then they go, it'll be coming out in a year from now. You know, for platform, yeah.
They like to be ambiguous and keep you guys on your toes.
They do, and knowing that, I mean, as you can see here, I mean, over the long term, you can see that pretty much guaranteed we could probably show exactly when all their games have been released.
I don't see a single miss either on these earnings, which is like amazing.
Well, I mean,
I see all green. That's amazing.
We have to assume that these spikes are. So here's last year, October. That spike had to be Red Dead Redemption.
I'd imagine, yeah.
You know, and then here I'm going to assume that this is probably when Rockstar put it out for Grand Theft Auto out for PC. So, I mean, you can see there's like a secular bounce from whenever they release something. So, that being the case, I feel like sticking out much longer with them, if you guys are doing this trade along with me, or if you're following along, or if you're in this trade, my personal guess would be to get out sooner than later. Take this ride and pull out early, and that's what I'm going to do.
So you were playing it kind of as a quick play. You wanted to use the video game release and kind of see if you can get that bump.
Very much so. And knowing that they don't really do much in December and they're not going to really be releasing anything, I feel like now is the time to pull. Like I said, I did see it up at like 154, I want to say earlier, but that being the case, let's get back all the way zoomed in here on it because you can see that I don't know, there we go. Not using a mouse, so it's always fun, right?
I am not a trackpad person, yeah.
I'm adaptable. I don't mind that they've got that little weird red button that acts like a mouse, and I'll be honest with you, it's not so bad. I kind of had one years ago, and it doesn't really bug me all too much. But this stock, like I said, has been really like, and you noticed it's gone up. Like, I mean, from their announcement, their announcement was on the 7th, and it's just boop, nice 45-degree angle.
And it has some
right
room to
up there.
run for the 2021 expectations. So
Right. So, I mean, I want to stick with it, but I think I'm going to take what I got and just be happy with the small gain I did get because it was a gamble play. And they are a secular company where if they're not releasing anything, they're not really making money.
yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to take your wins, right?
Exactly. And that's kind of the thing that we always say, kind of follow your gut, and stick with it. So we're going to edit our transaction here.
Uh-oh. He's going in.
Going to shares 0 because we're going to take that gain.
Yeah, and we're going to have to figure out a way to monitor our closed positions here. Maybe we'll have to make another portfolio of some sorts to mark how much we actually are taking in profit.
Well, I mean, we
once
could just take
close it
notes.
out. Yeah, exactly. But just to have some type of visual, I think our listeners would love that. But yeah, is that kind of the roundout on your portfolio?
Yeah, that's pretty much the roundout. I mean, Disney, I'm gonna wait until December to really have a harder look at it, just because.
Yeah, I think we got to give it some time. I mean, they haven't even announced how much expectations they have for subscriber growth in the next quarter. They've only really said that they expect to have, I think it was 50 to 70 million global users by 2022 or something like that. So I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, and I think it's going to be a long-term game, in my opinion. But I mean, to each his own. We're going to play these differently, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I feel like I got to add more. Hearing that you're at, a pretty healthy amount, me just selling my shares right there and taking my profits, I'm down to a market value of almost $600. So
yeah, I mean,
feel
some
like
of them are pretty expensive too. The stocks.
Yeah, I mean, Disney isn't cheap. I do want to get a couple more blue chips to hold for longer, but I got to wait for some dips. So I will be adding a lot more though, because here on this last trade, I made I don't know, a couple bucks.
You got to put your money back to work,
Well, right, and with the blue chips, like we always say, like Disney's and stuff, they're never going to fail. They're never going to disappear. So they will be basically there forever.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, we said we wanted to keep it short and
we
sweet,
tried.
and so we did. Looking over some last comments here, we got Mike Peters again. I picked up 5 LK last month, so I'm up. So that's good for you, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Run with your heart. If you feel like that company can beat Starbucks, I don't think it's hard. They got to be a better coffee. Starbucks is so burnt and gross, but I don't
Not
know.
always. It's sometimes pretty good.
He's watching Nokia right now. Do you think they will recover a 5G wave headed our way? I doubt it.
Yeah, they're just starting to roll that out. I think it's going to be a long-term thing with 5G, a slow process.
Yeah, and Dean Foods, yes, we will miss them too. They had some great ice cream. I mean, who knows how that's going to work out? They're going for bankruptcy, so it's a pretty good chance they're out.
Wait, who's going bankrupt?
Dean Foods.
Oh, Dean, yeah.
The milk makers and ice cream.
It's unfortunate. It's one of those things where I thought it's like a company that could just go forever because it's milk.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, like we talked about on our quick hits, if those don't get those, our quick hits are available through Zacks.com, and you can find videos that'll summarize big stories for the week. But on our quick hits, we talked about Dean yesterday, and it's one of those things where it's just kind of the end of an era. Milk isn't so popular anymore.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
People would rather have gelato and
almond milk.
Right, and almond milk than ice cream and, a tall glass of chocolate milk. But with that, guys, don't forget to go to Zacks.com/promo, which is where you can find the latest deal from Zacks.com. Currently, we're giving you a 30-day access for $1. I don't know how much longer this could be open, but I am pretty sure this is closing soon. So for those of you interested, get in there, take a look. It's got all our portfolios available, all our commentary from all our editors. Also allows you to get into the closed portfolios that were not available anymore for subscription. So check that out for $1, Zacks.com/promo. And with that, guys, we will see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.